Olá ciberpessoas, bem-vindas a mais um vídeo de um Tuga Parvo. Aproveito para vos desejar bom ano e eu vou andar um bocadinho ocupado durante as próximas semanas, mas não queria deixar o canal sem nada, por isso preparei duas entrevistas para serem lançadas durante este tempo. Esta é a primeira, mas eu cometi alguns erros, nomeadamente a qualidade da minha voz ficou péssima e isso tem a ver de certeza com a maneira como eu gravei as coisas. Portanto não se percebe muito bem o que eu digo, ainda mais porque eu não falo inglês tão bem como uma pessoa nativa. No entanto, eu coloquei legendas que vocês podem ativar clicando aqui num botão aqui em baixo ou aqui em baixo. Que eu agora com o novo formato do YouTube não sei como é que vai ser, mas das duas uma. Ou diz CC, ou tem assim um símbolo com duas linhas a representar as legendas. Clicando lá podem escolher se querem as legendas em inglês, que é apenas a transcrição do que eu estou a dizer, eu e o meu entrevistado, ou se querem em português, que já é a tradução. A entrevista demora 20 minutos. E como eu não queria fazer um vídeo tão grande de 20 minutos, cortei em duas partes. Esta é a primeira parte, e a segunda parte será já lançada amanhã, que é para não terem que esperar muito tempo. Só não lanço as duas partes agora, depois fica confuso no YouTube e põe a parte 2 toda misturada, aquilo fica estranho. Esta primeira entrevista é com o Phoenix Online Studios, que é o estúdio responsável por um dos primeiros jogos a ser aprovado no Kickstarter. A entrevista da próxima semana é surpresa. Fiquem atentos e vamos então à entrevista.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I managed to get an interview with Phoenix Online Studios. With us, we have Katie Hallahan. How are you?
Good. Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me here.
So, Katie, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am the PR director and also one of the designers at Phoenix Online Studios. I worked on The Silver Lining, our King's Quest fan game, and I'm working right now on Cognition and Erica Reed Filler.
The Phoenix Online Studios has a particular history. When it was formed, it was first just a fan-based company, right?
Correct, yeah. We started about 10 years ago, just a bunch of fans who wanted to make a King's Quest game that kind of closed out the series a little better than Mask of Eternity had, and over the years finally got The Silver Lining released after a few bumps in the road, and now we're working on our first commercial game.
Is the Silver Lining video game ready? All of it?
Oh, not all of it. We've released 4 of the 5 episodes, which are available to download for free on our website. And we're working on the 5th one, coming along slowly. We don't have a release date for it just yet or anything, but we're looking forward to when we can get that one out there and kind of finally put the final chapter in for that game.
How did you manage to do a King Quest game? Because King Quest is legendary, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. So at first, we kind of had to learn how to make a game because not really many of us knew, which is one reason it took so long. And actually, over the years, we had not one but 2 different cease and desist orders that we got since the IP is obviously owned by someone else. So in 2005, we got one from Vivendi, who owned it at the time, and our fans really rallied, and they had, they were sending emails and letters and calling Vivendi saying, please let this game come out, and finally we worked out a deal with them, but then by the time we were actually finally ready to release it in late 2009, very early 2010, it was owned then by Activision, so we contacted them to say, all right, we're ready to release this, and they had no idea who we were. So, naturally, it being their IP, and they had to, take steps to protect that, of course. So they also sent us cease and desist, and at that point we kind of thought, well, this has got to be it. This isn't going to get saved again. But it did, and our fans, once again, they really rallied, and they helped us make it happen, and we worked out a deal with Activision, and in 2010 we started releasing the episodes for Silver Lining.
The original name of the game was going to be Silver Lining, right?
No, the original fuller title was, the unofficial King's Quest IX, Every Cloak Has a Silver Lining. And that was one of the things Vivendi originally had wanted us to do, was just to say, based on the King's Quest series, instead of putting that name in the title, since, it wasn't an official sequel, of course.
Oh, so that was the deal with Vivendi and not with Activision.
Yeah, that started from the deal with Vivendi, and then, by the time, years later, we got to the one with Activision, that was, the name everyone knew it by at that point.
I think it was in the last C3 they Is this a statement saying they were going to do a new King Quest?
Yeah, about a year or so ago, they had announced that Telltale Games had the license for doing the next official King's Quest. Although I haven't heard anything about when that might be coming out or is getting worked on or anything. Obviously, they're known for releasing, The Walking Dead and Back to the Future and everything recently.
Do you know if they're going to incorporate the Silver Lining story into their own? If they're going to do a...
I have no idea.
Okay. Because they could have contacted you.
Yeah. No, it's if they are incorporating any of, the ideas we had, we don't know about it. But, I mean, obviously, we have the fan license, and technically it is owned by Activision. That'd be cool, but, I guess we'll find out when it happens.
About the Silver Lining, we once again return to King Graham, which we hadn't seen since King Quest V. Is this a different King Graham than before?
I mean, to an extent, we definitely kind of have our own take on the character. I think back in King's Quest V, when you last saw him in one of the leading roles in the series, he was very. I don't personally think he had too many dimensions to him. He was a good character.
It was a different age of video stuff.
Exactly, yeah, So we tried to add kind of some little more dimension in there.
The gray hair also gives a bit of dimension.
Yeah, the gray hair definitely does. Yeah, he's an older man. He's kind of had what he expects to be, his big adventures in his life at this point. But now something's threatening his family, so of course, regardless of age or circumstance, he's gonna do whatever he has to save them.
In your game, you also use a lot of locations that appeared previously. Most of all in King Quest VI. Was it easy to recreate those locations in 3D?
I mean, we really wanted to. Well, we knew King's Quest VI was one of the most popular ones in the series, and especially for a lot of the people on the team, it was our favorite. So setting it there was kind of an easy decision as far as where we're going to put this game. And I mean, recreating it, a lot of the scenes are very true to what you see in King's Quest VI, and obviously having those to, base it on was great. And then we tried to expand on it a little bit as well. Add some new locations or some new flourishes to old locations. As far as the technical details of it, I couldn't really tell you much about that, but...
Are we going to see new locations in the 50th episode?
Yeah, sort of new locations, some of them completely new, some inspired by previous locations from other games. So yeah, we took some interesting twists on things, I think.
But speaking of King Quest VI, now you are working with one of the creators of that game, Jane Jason, as a story consultant for Cognition. It was a big fuss on Kickstarter that Jane Jason was actually helping you with this game. Was it easy to convince her to help you out?
We got a chance to meet her in person a couple of years ago, and Cesar Vitar, our CEO and one of the designers of Silver Lining and of Cognition, was especially a big fan. Gabriel Knight 2 was one of his favorite games ever, and since we'd based the Silver Lining in the Green Isles and from King's Quest VI, and that was a game, like you said, that she worked on, we were really eager to show her, what we'd done with the game and kind of say, like, thanks for the inspiration of these great games and everything. So meeting her was great. It was, dream come true for us. And we talked about, naturally, what we were doing, what we wanted to do with Phoenix at the time, and, talked about some possible ways to collaborate. And when Cognition came up, it was just a good timing and great opportunity for making that sort of a more formal relationship, and bringing her in as the story consultant, which it's been a lot of help having her there.
How is a story consultant work? So you had already the story, and then just told her, and she gave you a feedback?
More or less along those lines. Cesar and I came up with sort of a roadmap, an outline for the whole story for all 4 episodes of Cognition, and showed it to her as well as some ideas we had, and she really helped us focus in on the stuff that kind of like focus the story in. We had a few different ideas and themes for the whole thing, and she, you know, wisely advised us, you know, don't try to do too much, just pick one of these and go with that. So it was kind of between the, you know, Erica's powers that she has and this story about some deaths that were based on Shakespeare, and we decided to go with the powers one because that was kind of the story that would more easily stretch out into other games if we wanted to make those later.
Normally the adventure games like this also have a lot of puzzle components. Did she help you with those puzzles, or was it merely the story part?
Mainly story, but certainly the puzzles too. You know, like the scripts for each episode she's seen and reviewed, done a full editing pass on, and offered feedback on all sorts of aspects in there.
What do you think it was the greatest contribution that Jane did to the story?
Kind of like I was saying, like, you know, making sure we kept the focus. You know, like she did that with the original outline that we had, and then with the different episodes scripts. Yeah, just kind of helping make it, you know, focused, keep the story tight and the script tight, and make sure it doesn't, you know, go off too much in some other direction.